You're alive.
Hello. Shadow. Proving kids' characters can be fun. Oh, you're too low. Dang, you got bad internet. You need to reset. Dang, bro. You got the whole squad left.
For sure.
No, I didn't.
Hey guys, I'm just hanging out here with my review for your exponential function test that y'all have tomorrow. So I just want to be sure you guys are ready for it. And I thought I'd just hang out here and see if y'all have any questions for me. And if you do, I will be happy to answer them. Remember, there's about a 30-second lag on here. When you ask a question, it takes about 30 seconds for the internet to get it to me. So anyway, I'm just going to hang here for a little bit, and if anybody shows up, great, I'll answer some questions. I might just go ahead while I'm on here, so those of you that do log on later and want to watch it, just to get some extra practice in, we will do some stuff. Some of the things that I think will be of great value to you. Oh, you know what? I can't zoom in. Why can I not zoom in? Oh, I think I have to. Oh, I have to zoom on. Okay, I'll just write really big. I wonder if I have a bigger marker. I do. We'll just write really big. Some of the things I want to remind you about. Let's think. When you have a graph. Again, I'm just going to try and write really big. If I have a dashed line, remember that represents the asymptote. When you have that dashed line. And remember the asymptote, it plays that I'm not touching you game. And so it's where the graph comes down and it goes up like this. And it looks like it touches, but it really doesn't. Okay, so remember those. Remember the asymptote always is y equals something. And if you watch that other video I showed y'all, I showed you about this y equals ab to the x power plus k. And I told you that k is always the asymptote, so it's a little easier to kind of tell on that. So like for instance, if I did y equals 3 times 2 to the x power plus 1, the asymptote would be 1. Meaning if you were to graph this, it would look like this. You would see this line here and it would grow like this. And it would look like it's touching that line, but it's not. Remember, that's the line that's not touching. So kind of remember that a little bit whenever you're working with these. If I had, okay, so the asymptote would be y equals 1. If I had y equals 1/3 times 2 to the x power minus 2, the asymptote would be minus 2. That would be the asymptote. What you're used to seeing is when I give you y equals like 5 times 3 to the x power. And then I say, what's the asymptote? And you graph it and you look. The thing is that the k on the end of this is really like, it's not there, so that means it's 0. And so the asymptote is y equals 0. So I was kind of showing you on that other short video, if you watched it, how that k kind of plays in, how you can figure out the asymptote that way. So that's kind of a nice little way to be a little more familiar with it. On your review, let's see, as I try to look on there and see what else I have. I'm trying to write real big because I can't figure out how to zoom in. I know there's a way, but I know I have to go to like video capture. If I double click that, oh, I do, and then I have to tell it to zoom in. Do I zoom in there? Nope, not there. Configure, no, it's not that. Okay, so it's, yeah, I can't remember how to zoom in. Was it on here I zoom? No, it's not on there either. You know, there's so many things and gadgets on here. Holy cow, it is not easy. Can I view? No, I don't know, I'll just write big. So domain and range, that was something we worked on today in some of my other classes. I don't know that A4 worked on that much today. You guys were too busy rescuing the Caribbean from Pirate Jack. So let's say I give you for the domain and range, Let me give you a real world situation. Let me give you something like this. Looks like that. Okay. And so let's say we're doing moose in Yellowstone Park. And let's say there's 505 moose in Yellowstone when we start. And let's say that we're adding 1.2% moose every year. Okay, I know that's not very much, but whatever. We're going to go with it. And you're like, I don't want to go to Yellowstone and add moose. Okay, so if I were to write this, actually no, let's do domain and range. How wide is this? So X is going to represent the time. We'll say in months. This is going to represent the population of moose. So let's look at this time. We've got 505 moose right now, right at this moment. That means our time starts right here and it goes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Time's not going to stop. We're going to keep going. Okay, so this is the starting moment, which would be time 0, and it goes for forever. So the domain, if you want to write it as an infinity sign, it goes from 0 to positive infinity, forever and ever and ever. But remember, we kind of don't have to do this part of it. We would just say X is bigger than 0 if I read it backwards. So I would say X is bigger than 0. And then, so let me write that up here. X is greater than, oh, does it actually physically equal 0? Yeah, time starts at time 0. So we are going to say equal to. On the range, we're going to look at how tall is it. It's our population. What is the population of our moose? Well, it starts as 505 and it's going up. It's increasing for forever and ever and ever because this is going up to positive infinity. So my moose start at 505 and it's always greater than or equal to that number, right? Actually, I need to turn it around the other way, don't I? Y is always bigger than that. I did it backwards. Y is, you know what, let me write it the other way. Y is greater than or equal to 505 because it starts here and it goes up for forever, right? Let's see, what else can we say? The asymptote, well, no, we won't do the asymptote because we can't really do that one on this one. We could write the equation though. Y equals the starting amount, which is 505 moose. And then I need to figure out what's it doing. It's growing. Well, it's growing at 1.2%. So remember, if it's growing, we're going to do 100 plus. It's growing at 1.2%. So 100 plus 1.2, that's 101.2%. But you can't put that in the equation, so I have to move it over 2. So that's 1.012. So up here in my equation, I'm going to put 1.012. And that would be the equation of my moose growing in the park. Okay. So anyway, so that was kind of good. So I'm not seeing anybody jump on, so I'm hoping that means you've all studied, you're all good, and you don't have any questions. So I may hang out here for just a few more minutes and see if anybody comes on. I just want to be sure you guys are studying and you have everything ready to go for tomorrow, because I'm not there tomorrow. There's no tutorials, anything like that. I just want to be sure. Ooh, that's cool. So anyway, okay, so I'm going to cut this off since no one is here, which is good. Hopefully that means you're just studying away and you're watching those other videos. All right, y'all. Good luck tomorrow. Have a great night.